Hello, fellow nerds. Hello, fellow nerds, and welcome to episode number 4. We did it. We made it to episode number 4. As always, I am your host, Brian, and alongside me is my best friend, Edgar. Hi,
Edgar.
And we're about to jump in to some crazy topics for you today this week.
And then your aunt wonders why I'm annoyed with you.
Hey, hold on. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today, okay? Last week, we did a full-on Marvel Mayhem episode. And we thought, what better way to transition into this week's episode than with more Marvel news? So, over the past week, we had a little bit of extra Marvel news come in from the internet. And we want to discuss some of it with you. Because that's what we do here at Fellow Nerds. So, without further ado, Edgar.
You have to, emphasize on the internet.
Internet is a beautiful place, okay?
Yes.
And it needs to be emphasized. Edgar, please take it away with topic number 1.
Numero uno. We got the Black Widow movie details. Certain details have released into the internet. The new set photos that people have taken have revealed a potential villain. And the villain is a new villain entered into the MCU universe. And that villain is Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a villain that is a mercenary and an assassin who possesses expert fighting skills and weapon skills, as well as a genius intellect. This photographic reflects allow him to mimic any superhero or anyone he sees. Anyone. If you guys don't know, Taskmaster is a well-known villain in the comics. It's probably not well known if you don't read the comics or have heard of him. He does a cameo in the Spider-Man game on PS4. Whoa. And you actually have to fight him, and you get to fight him twice, and then he disappears. But it's a really cool way because he mimics everything that you do. So your fighting style of how you play with Spider-Man, he mimics it and kicks it right back. So it kind of puts you on a edge to figure out how to fight him and how to beat him. But that's what Taskmaster is. He mimics everything that you do as a hero and throws it right back. So it does give a hero a good way of learning new ways to take down villains. So that's it. That brings us into the second part of the Marvel news.
Oh, there's more?
There is more.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Is this me?
That's you.
This is me?
Yes.
Okay. Our next set of Marvel news is something that I'm so excited for. It is in the form of a Doctor Doom movie being talked about, at least, over at Marvel Studios. We have Noah Hawley, who is known for the creator and the director for movies such as Fargo and Legion, who has confirmed that he is in talks with Kevin Feige, who, if you don't know, last week we talked about all the time, but he is the president of Marvel Studios, and they have both conversed about bringing in a Doctor Doom movie into the MCU, which is mind-blowing. Doctor Doom is a phenomenal villain. No.
Because you have to go around it.
Doctor Doom is a phenomenal villain and needs to definitely be portrayed in the Marvel Studios and in the MCU. I don't know why I said Marvel Studios. That was weird. My apologies.
I kind of want to know if they're introducing a Doctor Doom, are they going to introduce the Fantastic Four then?
Well,
because
they have to.
Because it's a big correlation.
He's the Fantastic Four's primary villain.
Yes.
They have to bring him up.
And then after introduction in Fantastic Four, he became a primary villain in the MCU universe, fighting multiple superheroes and being on the mantle such as where Thanos is, the...
I think
what's
that's
that
right.
eating planet?
Galactus.
Yes, Galactus. Such as those people, but hopefully they introduce. But I know last episode we said that Fantastic Four wasn't probably in the works for 5 years. So maybe that's where Doctor Doom is going to be, and that's where we're going to introduce our Fantastic Four members into it.
If they're only at the stage where they're just talking about it, they are not even close to any sort of actual movie beginning. So. But it is good that they're at least talking about it, because this character definitely needs to be a part of the MCU.
It'd be cool if that was the next villain, or teamed up with someone else as a villain and took him down. Possibly a Sinister Six?
Dr. Doom isn't part of the Sinister Six,
I know,
buddy.
But it'd be cool if they did.
Do you know who is a part of the Sinister Six? Can you tell me right now?
Octus?
Octus?
Dr. Octavius.
That's one. Come on.
I can't think. Goblin.
What's his first name? It's a color.
It's the Green Goblin.
There you go.
It's the yellow one's on it. The Green Goblin. Kingpin.
Is Kingpin?
And then I know those three. Is it Firefly? Firefly one of them?
No.
Shocker.
Yeah, I think the Shocker's in.
Shocker might be one of them.
Vulture.
Vulture.
Is Rhino?
I don't think in the game.
In the game,
He
Spider-Man
was.
game, yes.
He was in it, but I'm not sure if these are in the original set.
Let's see here.
Electro.
The original Mysterio is part of the Sinister Six.
That's cool. I didn't know the original
Dr.
ones.
Octopus.
Electro,
Electro, Kraven the Hunter,
Mhm.
Mysterio, Sandman, and Vulture.
Oh, so then Shocker comes in later on.
That's the original, like OG status Sinister Six. There's
But
been a couple
yeah,
different
revisions
adaptations throughout
throughout
the years, but yeah.
So that's pretty much all the Marvel news that we've gotten in the past couple days since we did episode 3. So that brings us into the new one. New Sherlock Holmes movie is to
Yay.
be coming out. Did it say this year or next year? Or is it in the works?
Listen, you continue to talk, and I will try to figure it out.
One of the... there's 2 actors. I can't remember the female one. Can you look up the female one?
The Holmes Mysteries.
But let's go with this. Henry Cavill joins the Sherlock project. He is going to be playing Sherlock Holmes himself, the uncle to to Nancy Springer's and Enola Holmes mysteries series. But the film, a production from the legendary, is an adaptation of the author Nancy Springer's book series, the Enola Holmes Mysteries, about the adventures of a budding detective, Enola Sherlock, and Mycroft Holmes' much younger sister. The first book, The Case of the Missing Marquis, came out in 2006 via EW.com.
There you go.
So,
citing our source.
yes.
Boom.
Henry Cavill is to play the uncle of the Enola Holmes, and Enola is going to be played by...
is it Millie Brown?
Is that the one?
The Stranger Things girl.
Yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown or something.
So
Edgar, I'm
cool.
just so confused. I just don't know who Henry Cavill is. Could you describe that? Could you tell us who that is?
Henry Cavill is the guy who plays Superman, who has left the DC universe to start in the Witcher series coming to Netflix. So he's very busy on.
What's his movie called? Superman?
No.
I can't remember.
Man of Steel.
Ayo.
And he comes into Justice League. My bad. And Batman versus Superman, or Superman versus Batman.
Batman versus Superman.
Batman
and then
versus
Justice
Superman.
League.
Justice League. My bad.
It was bad. Boo.
But it's kind of cool that he's actually tackling other series.
He's a busy guy right now.
Yes, but
he is
I know he's
busy
left
guy.
the DC universe.
Yes, he's no longer playing
Superman. So
he's done.
We'll see how this goes. He's a good actor, so I kind of want to see what he has potential is going to be in this movie.
Absolutely.
But though I like the Sherlock Holmes that was played by Robert Downer Jr.
Robert who? Downer.
Robert Downer Jr. I'm bad.
No, he did a really good job. I thought he did excellent.
Those movies are good, and there was a talk for a third movie, but they never produced it, which was kind
maybe
of
he's
sad.
too busy playing Tony Stark.
Maybe that's actually I think that might be the time frame that he started picking up on.
It's very possible.
Tony Stark
Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite instance is Chris Pratt going and playing Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy while doing Parks and Recreation.
And he comes back
super fit, and he said I just stopped drinking beer. He's like ripped, but yep, I just stopped drinking beer. That was it. Well, that brings us to our next topic, which is something that I am very excited. Well, not excited for, but the topic is exciting to me. It is Star Wars. Spoilers. We have no more Daisy Ridley, as far as we know, in the Star Wars universe after Episode 9. So I believe she was asked if she had any involvement with any future films, after episode 9. Just want to stress that she is in episode 9, obviously, because she's been in the little teaser and little trailer
when
shot they
I
got.
read
So
the article, I thought that she was not in episode 9, but
no,
I was
definitely in the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
She's 100% in that
this
movie.
wording is off.
We're talking about any future projects with Star Wars at this time. I'm going to go ahead and read a quick little quote from Daisy Ridley herself, and here I go. I mean, I can say I'm not in the next trilogy, Ridley shared with BuzzFeed when asked if she would be involved in any future Star Wars projects. No, I think because Rian, who was Rian Johnson, who directed Episode 8... What?
You sound weird.
Because Rian always said, if it's the Rian one, or it's the guys that did Game of Thrones, who are doing a new trilogy in the future, I'm not sure. Whichever one it is, they always said it was going to be a separate story, so I'm not. No.
Hopefully they don't butcher it like the last season of Game of Thrones.
So here we go. D&D, which is David being off and DB Wise or something. Yeah, they did a phenomenal job with Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 6. 7 and 8 were a different story. So
isn't that their own adaptation to the book, though?
Yes, because after season 6, they had passed George R.R. Martin's book material, so they had to kind of wing it a little bit.
And George Martin was working on the book while they were filming.
So if there's any big Game of Thrones books readers out there, they will know that their frustration with the Winds of Winter, I think is the book that they're waiting on, but he's been saying, I'm gonna finish this book. It's taking a long ass time.
That's how he said it.
Huh?
That's how he said it?
Yeah, he did. So anyways, the book readers are sad. Well, not sad. They're pretty much frustrated at this point because he's taking his sweet time releasing this book, which is fine. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's a busy guy. He's working with a new gaming studio to make a new game. What?
But wouldn't you want an author to take their time to make the
absolutely.
book? Like,
to me, I could care less because
would not want J.K. Rowling to be rushed to do another book if she was to write another series in the Harry Potter universe. But I mean, if they're taking your time, I would rather take your time.
Well, before I was rudely interrupted, I was going to say,
my bad.
I don't read, so I don't care. I will watch the crap out of it. If it becomes any sort of something on screen I can watch, I will watch the crap out of it. But if it's on paper, no. I tried reading Game of Thrones, and it was really tough. It's written in a hard style to follow. It's written in point of views. So it's like, instead of chapters, it's like Tyrion Lannister. And then you read a few pages, then it's like Sansa Stark. And it's like, read a few chapters. It's just hard to follow.
But long books.
Yes,
I think one of them is over 1,000 pages.
They're thick.
Yeah.
THICC.
They're like thick. Lord of the Rings thick.
They're thick. Thick.
That's what she said.
Hey-o.
Which... Are you done with that one, or?
Yeah, that's it. Basically, Daisy Ridley is saying no more Star Wars after Episode 9, as far as she knows. But to me, honestly, that's fine because I think after Episode 9, I think Star Wars should go in a new direction. Obviously, the Skywalkers have been such a giant thing in Star Wars forever. We need something new. Star Wars is a massive universe. We need to explore some new things. There's so many options they could take besides just bringing back old bloodlines.
Well, if you think about it, like. In Episode 8, there was a scene where, spoilers alert, if you haven't
seen it. It's been enough time. It's been far long.
It's been 2 years after we were promised after a year of the original production. You can still see yourself. In Episode 8, there was a scene where a kid is sweeping and he drops the broom.
The very end?
The very end. And drops the broom. And the guy, he's a slave. The guy who owns the slave is like, come on, hurry up, let's go, blah, blah, blah. And instead of reaching down like a normal human to pick up the broom, he reaches out and utilizes the Force. As fans, we're supposed to suspect that it is the Force because he raises the broom up and grabs it. It
absolutely is the Force.
So he goes forward. So if they're going in a new direction without the Skywalker, I think that they're going to project, or they're going to their main focus for the next series of films is going to be the Jedi. So I personally want to think that this next movie, Episode 9, is going to focus on setting up the future of Star Wars. And maybe, like they said, like Daisy said, is to end the Skywalker lineage and move on. And I think it'd be really cool to see them rebuild a new order where the struggles maybe it's later down like 200 years in the future after they reestablish and a new Sith arises and then they take them down. But I think it's a great idea that they're stepping away from the Skywalker because we've had years of Skywalker.
Yeah, it's
movies,
had its time. It's time to move on.
There's only so much that you can do in a family before it gets old.
Yes, I agree.
But that moves us on to the next topic, and this one's going into Disney, even though we've been in Disney.
I mean, yeah, we've been in Disney the whole time.
There's said word out there that Melissa McCarthy is going to be Ursula in the new animated series of Little Mermaid.
No, not animated series. Live action.
Thank you. Sorry. I realized what I said when I said it. But Melissa McCarthy is in the talks of possibly playing Ursula, which I'm a fan of Melissa McCarthy. You're not.
I'm not a fan of Melissa
But
McCarthy.
I personally cannot see her play Ursula.
I can see her playing Ursula.
I don't. I really can't picture in my mind. If you were to ask me who I would think would play a great role as Ursula, is I forget her name. If you can look it up.
Well, that doesn't help me.
If you can look her up. She's in American Horror Stories.
Lady Gaga.
No, not Lady Gaga. There's actually been word that Lady Gaga might also play Ursula. So we could possibly get that too.
Is she the...
She's the older lady, one of the witches.
Jessica Lange?
No.
Kathy Bates?
Oh,
that'd be a good one!
Kathy Bates
that'd
playing
be so
Ursula,
good!
a marvelous Ursula. If you haven't seen American Horror Stories, I recommend you watch that series.
Oh, that's a good one!
Like, I think she would play a phenomenal Ursula because, like, just the way she is. I've seen her works. If you don't know who she is,
oh my gosh,
she's
Kathy
done
Bates
movies,
would be so good,
right?
Oh my gosh,
that's who I would. They should just put me as a producer.
For real? Wow.
I think that's a better version of Ursula. Don't get me wrong. I love Melissa McCarthy. I like her movies. Just don't see her playing Ursula.
If people don't know who Melissa McCarthy is, or not Melissa McCarthy, everybody
She's
knows
been
who that
in
is.
Heat. She's
Who
been
is-
Identity Thief.
Stop. No. Everyone knows who that is. Who is Kathy Bates? Can you please tell us who that is? What she's in?
Kathy Bates is in, I already said American Horror Stories. She's in one of the movies. I don't know the name of the title of the movie.
Well, that...
But she basically breaks
She's in some
dude's
movies. I forget the
legs.
titles.
Like, she pulls the legs down, and instead of, like, letting him escape again, she, like, takes the camera and she goes... That's the first time I've ever seen her, and I was, like, scared of her for a while. Then I've seen her in other movies. But
She's in The Office?
Yes.
After Dunder Mifflin gets bought out by Saber. She's like the CEO. She's also in Titanic. She's one of the rich, wealthy women in Titanic.
I forgot about that one. She's like a grandma kind of looking lady.
She's just a wealthy woman in that. She's in The Waterboy. She's Bobby Boucher's mama. She's in
Misery.
Do we have to
Misery?
talk about
I think
what
Misery
else
is the
she's in?
one that she literally whacks somebody's dude's feet off.
She's in The Blind Side. I think she's the one who tutors the Michael. And she's like telling him about the...
She's not one of the snotty ones that question...
in The Blind Side?
Yeah.
No,
she's not one of the snotty
she
ones?
tutors Michael Orr, and she tells him stories about, like, I think, like, one of the stadiums was built under a graveyard, and, like, the hands will come up and grab you. She was trying to convince him to play college ball at Ole Miss.
But I personally think that she would do a marvelous job as Ursula. She is older. She's...
Yeah, but Ursula seems like that in the movies anyway.
Exactly.
I think Kathy Bates would be incredible.
And I'm not sure, now that looking at the movies as an older person, I think that
yeah, because you're
Ursula...
so old.
Well, think about it. A 5-year-old version of myself watching the movie did not think the same way that a 25-year-old self now would.
That's fair, whatever.
But I think Ursula is a drag queen.
Here's the thing. Melissa McCarthy has only done stupid comedy movies that are all trash.
No.
Here's the thing.
She's done a serious movie.
What?
St. Vincent.
Who the heck has seen that?
St. Vincent. It's an actual good movie. It's a really good movie.
What is Micah Molly?
It stars I can't remember actor's name.
Yeah, you
look up Vincent. Or St. Vincent.
St. Vincent.
Nope,
American musician.
It's not the title of the movie. I can't remember names of
movie.
movies.
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent.
That's
There you
Bill
go.
Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray's in it. It's a really good one. She plays a serious actor.
No,
in this
she's
one.
smiling on the photo, on the title photo. Doesn't
She
count.
plays a serious version of
No,
herself. She's
I don't
not
buy
really
it.
goofy. She's a serious mom, a single mom raising a kid. So, spoilers. I probably should have said that before I said that. Or no,
How
it's
old?
Infinite.
This movie came out in 2014. If
It's
you
a
haven't
really good
seen
movie.
it, that's
It's a really good movie.
that's on you.
But that's basically all we have on the Little Mermaid project right now.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates would be a great job.
Absolutely.
That brings us to the next topic, which will be
It's so sad.
delivered by him.
It is so sad. We
'Cause
did
I don't
post
watch
this on the Facebook page because it's so groundbreaking. But anyways, The Office, one of the best TV shows of all time, is leaving Netflix January of 2021.
I think Parks and
Because-
Recreations are better.
No, I think The Office is better. I think Parks and Rec is close. I think it's just a little
never got
worse.
past the first season.
That's
It's
the
like-
problem. You can skip the first season. The first season was like
That's
their
what people
trial.
told me about Game of Thrones, and I try not to skip.
No.
No.
Game of Thrones, you cannot
I
skip
quote,
anything.
Vicky said you can skip season 1
Well,
and
Vicky-
then go into it.
You should not have told him that. Season 1 is absolutely detrimental to watching.
I know
There's
it's
so many.
all the characters,
There's so
but-
many things you learn in season 1 that pertain to the whole entire show.
But
But anyways, The Office leaving Netflix 2021 is incredibly sad. I know. That's like my guilty pleasure TV show. Whenever I'm doing something and I need some sort of background noise, always go to The Office. I've seen that show, oh my gosh, gazillion times all the way through. It's not as good when Michael leaves, obviously, but it's still good. Jim, Dwight, Pam have their moments in that after Michael leaves, but it's good. It's just a good fun show to watch. I mean, it's just a great comedy show. Sure, the first season is a little cringy because they're trying to find their footing, but whatever, that's fine.
I know my brother watches.
I
it,
usually
and he
skip
said it's
season
good
1,
too.
but if I every once in a while I'll go watch it. It's a little. Season 1 is a little hard to watch. Parks and Rec is great, but my all-time favorite is How I Met Your Mother. Completely irrelevant to any of these,
Oh my god!
but that's my favorite show like
I
that.
love that. Have you met Ted?
Except the last episode where it had
And
me shook. I was not happy with the last episode.
That's a bad thing about any show that's ending at a fast pace. Is how to wrap up a good season. and
How do you wrap up a show that's been filming for like 10 years?
I think that one it's the 10th season actually.
How do you it's just so hard. You're obviously gonna have people that love it, and you're gonna have a lot of people who hate it. It's
If
just,
you guys don't know
you
How I
can't
Met Your
find-
Mother, which
No,
I mean,
I'm not even gonna say because
like a lot of people. May
if you haven't
not
seen
watch
it, you need to watch
You
How
need
I
to
Met Your
watch
Mother.
it.
It's
It's
incredible.
about,
Ted Mosby,
Ted Mosby,
the architect.
the architect finding his true love, and they go through a whole entire series with his 5 or next
Marshall, Lily, Barney, Robin. Oh,
four
so
good friends.
good.
And it's really hilarious.
I've met somebody
my favorite
who's been in
part
How I Met Your
is
Mother.
the slap bet.
The slap bet.
That's my favorite.
The show is too good. I quote it all the time.
Yeah,
It's
I
so
love
good.
the part. Have you met Ted?
But bring it back to The Office.
Yes.
Basically, NBC, who did The Office, they're taking it to their own streaming service called NBC Universal, which
It's
is
ridiculous.
weird. I mean, it seems like everybody and their mom is making their own streaming service nowadays.
Disney is.
Yep.
NBC, I think CNN was talking about doing one.
CNN?
Or ABC or
Oh
one
yeah,
of the two.
that would make more sense.
Is talking about doing it, and it's
We got Disney Plus coming down the pipeline soon. We got Hulu, but they just got bought by Disney. We got Netflix. We got NBC Universal.
HBO.
HBO's
Stars.
theirs. Yep, Stars.
Like, why can't we just
It's
centralize
just like-
it into one?
It's honestly getting to the point where it's like everyone can just ditch cable because they're gonna have to pay almost the same price to have all their separate streaming services to watch their own favorite shows. It's almost kind of similar to the whole net neutrality thing happening that was passed or whatever a year or two ago.
Oh, that bill
Yeah,
thing? Yeah.
it's almost like this is happening now. I mean, it's to me it seems like people are really gonna have to choose between cable or buying all their favorite streaming services. That's what I feel like it's coming down to.
I think nowadays, I read an article saying that the millennials are killing cable.
I think
because-
cable's already on the decline anyways.
Yeah, because
Everything you
everyone
can
has
stream.
internet.
Everyone has a
internet.
streaming service,
Yeah, and
right?
everyone uses a streaming service. There's YouTube that has a streaming service now. Hulu has his channels. Like you can buy.
You can
them
watch
on
live TV
Hulu,
on Hulu.
or you can you can buy the extra packages and watch.
Maybe that's what
thing.
Disney's trying to cash in on.
So
Maybe they're trying to cash in on live TV.
and
Boom.
be smart because like if you haven't seen the Robinsons, right? No.
Meet the Robinsons?
Meet the Robinsons. Meet the Robinsons. Disney owns everything in the future.
Disney owns
It's
everything.
a hypothetical theory in that movie, but let's just assume that Disney's gonna own everything in the future.
Yes.
Um,
Along with Coca-Cola.
you think Walt Disney this is what he pictured?
Absolutely
think,
not.
Like
no.
in his will, he's like, make sure Disney
Buy
owns
everything. No, absolutely not. I think Walt Disney's idea was to make a kick butt theme park, and then now it's just with the way that they've gone, it's just now they can own everything.
But I personally think that the streaming services that everyone's going for is ridiculous. Like,
I
you're
mean,
basically making the consumer choose and pick.
Right, you have to
their
pick and
favorite
choose
one
what
because,
you
like,
want to watch now.
Hold on, let me pay NBC for this week just to watch these few episodes. But look, let's pause it and let's go over to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic that will be, I feel like, really closely monitored in the next, 5, 10, 15 years?
Not even that.
Is cable going to be totally obsolete? Is cable going to become the new, VCR kind of thing, or it's going to slowly just disappear? Honestly, I've thought a lot about just canceling cable. The only thing I really watch on cable nowadays was, freaking sports stuff.
And
but
that
that's
even
it.
has its
I mean,
own. ESPN has its
right,
own
you can
streaming
pay for
services.
ESPN. I mean, yeah, everything has a streaming service now. So, who knows? I think cable's definitely on the decline.
Well, The Office will be available on Netflix until January of
I already said it.
2021. Oh, did you?
I said it twice.
Probably ignored you.
You probably did.
My bad.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Which brings us to the next topic.
Bring us into video games. So, if we have a couple of those viewers, I know you're out there who don't like to watch the video game stuff.
Cut now.
Vicky,
wait till the
I'm
end-
talking to you.
Wait till the end of the question when we answer fan
Yeah.
questions because it
Skip
goes
ahead,
back
like,
into this.
10 minutes? Skip it 10 minutes?
Probably.
If you don't like video games? But, I mean, you're going to miss
If you
this
really
great
want to see our
dynamic
beautiful
here.
faces,
Or
just
listen
stay
to
tuned.
them.
Oh yeah, sorry. Or listen to us.
Yeah, or listen. Because not everybody watches this via YouTube.
That brings us to Cyberpunk being the download size of when it's released.
Or only for PS4.
PS4, yeah. According to the PlayStation Store page, Cyberpunk 2077 will require an 80 gigabyte of space to install.
That is huge.
That is very huge. When I read it, I thought it was big because normal games take anywhere from 40 to 50, if max, with the download sizes and stuff like that. But once he told me about that,
Yes, I had a.
the little detail. But wait, no details on the file size for PC or Xbox has.
It'll
been
be
announced
similar,
right
I
now,
assume.
so-
It'll be similar. But what I was getting at was, is it okay if I
Yeah, go
talk?
for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. That file size was 105 gigabytes.
I didn't get past the first few.
That is
minutes.
huge. So I mean, yes, 80 gigabytes is very, very large for a game, but it's not the biggest we've seen. That's what she said. Anyways, so for example, my Xbox One, I got when they first dropped. So I only have a hard drive space of 500 gigabytes.
I have the
80
terabyte.
gigabytes takes almost a fifth of my entire storage, and I will be buying Cyberpunk 2077, but
But,
I'll
think
probably
about
get it
like,
on PC.
That's not including the stuff that you already have.
That's no
like,
DLC.
I'm not sure what you have on your Xbox, but on my PlayStation,
I got,
I have
Destiny,
Netflix, I
Fortnite,
have Hulu,
Minecraft.
I have little mini games that I bought throughout the
Yeah,
years.
all sorts of fun stuff.
So that data adds up, and for
Oh,
an
yeah,
80 gigabyte to be stored on there, plus think about if they release DLCs, that takes
That's
about
more
another
space.
8 gigabytes.
Yeah,
download
8
to
to
play.
10 at least.
So,
Especially for a game like Cyberpunk, who's CD Projekt Red, they release their expansions are seriously you could almost sell those as separate games. Like the 2 expansions for The Witcher, is Blood and Wine, and I forget the next one.
Witcher 3.
Yeah,
Okay,
Blood and
what?
Wine and
It's like Blood something. No, you said Blood and
Wine was
and
one. I
and
forget the
then-
next one. But
I
those
forget
were
the other one.
those could have been sold as 2 separate games.
They're so good though.
They are
Witcher was good.
incredible. And I'm sad. I'm gonna look it up because I'm really sad that I don't know the last one.
While he looks it up, I'm gonna bring up the next topic because it goes with the video games, and it's Apex Season 2 details. For Season 2, you can expect a battle pass with more meaningful content, the introduction of a new legend, and a debut of the new weapon. And you didn't expect King's Canyon to stay the same forever, did you? Is a quote stated by. Do you know who stated by? Ever quoted people?
Hold on, I can
Right
find it
now.
for you. I found out who we got the article from.
And this
We got
Season
our
2
copy
drops
of-
in July 2nd. So,
WWG. I don't know what that is. Worldwide Gaming, maybe.
I thought you said the wrestling that.
That's WWE.
Yeah.
World Wrestling
Got
Entertainment.
clicked. Did you figure out the expansion pack yet?
Hold on.
If not,
Hold
I can
on.
go on to the next topic.
Just keep talking about the Apex. Do you play what? Do you?
I don't play Apex. I
Why
play
not?
Fortnite, and then I just stopped because I moved on to Assassin's Creed, and then Assassin's Creed took over from my life. So I stopped playing, and I saw Apex, and I've been told about Apex.
Heart of Stone.
That's what it is. That's the expansion pack for Witcher 3.
DLC.
The next one.
Hearts and Stone and Blood and Wine. I do play Apex though.
Did you? I know.
Not as much lately. Because I've also been dabbling back into Assassin's Creed Odyssey because I've been trying to. It's a freaking beast of a game. I play a lot of it. Like I'll play for like a day or two, maybe a weekend, and I'll take a break, and then I'll come back to it. And it's just a beast of a game, man. I'm getting through the Cult of Cosmos, bunch of sissy babies. I'm just.
Cult of the Cosmos?
Yeah, the Cult of the Cosmos. The villains. The far right tab on the right, and the Cult.
On which game are you talking about?
Odyssey.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
I was talking because you jumped from Apex and then
I didn't hear you
Odyssey. So
I said Assassin's Creed. I didn't say Odyssey. I just assumed. My apologies.
My bad.
But anyways, Apex is great. It's basically it was EA's attempts to kind of tackle the whole battle royale scene after Fortnite's super duper success.
Which, if you base it off Fortnite, it's better than Fortnite then. What do you think? You play Fortnite?
No, it's not better than Fortnite.
You like Fortnite better?
Fortnite is still surviving much better than Apex. Apex is dying.
Oh,
Apex is definitely falling off.
Fortnite is cartoonish. And
okay, here's my thing. So if we base it purely on Twitch is a streaming service for gaming, right? If you look at how many people are watching Fortnite, which is constantly, almost 7 days a week, 365, 24/7, always over 100,000 viewers. That's 100,000 people watching people play Fortnite. Apex doesn't even come close to that.
I can't take you serious with that hat.
Well, it's beautiful.
It's not.
Anyways, if we go based on that alone, Fortnite is far past Apex. Apex, I feel like, came close after maybe a couple of weeks after release, but has since just been declining. It's a good game. It's fun. It's definitely a fresh take on Fortnite. It's trying to do all these things too late.
But that's also like any other ones, like because Battlefront and Call of Duty has done Battle Royale too.
Fallout just added a new Battle Royale mode, which is weird.
Everyone's trying to compete with Fortnite, but Fortnite was don't quote me on this. As far as I know, it was the original Battle Royale.
It is not the original Battle Royale, but I think they did it the best.
The best, okay. So they did the best Battle Royale, and everyone's playing it. Like, I play it, too, from time to time.
It's fun. It's fun to play. It's definitely fun to play.
I haven't played since, like, Season 5, and now I believe they're in Season 8.
Oh, I don't even know.
Season 8 or Season 7?
I actually just started playing again on PC,
and
I suck.
I played it with one of my... I don't know. They call me their uncle/brother, Dominic. Shout out. I played it with him, and he killed me with killer shots. But I mean, like, to be playing on it and looking at it, like they added a ball that you can roll in and shoot, like a plunger, which pulls you up.
You like pretty much Spider-Man your way through the map.
A jetpack,
like a cool
thing,
like a hover skateboard kind of thing.
Hover skateboard. So. I get it, like, why kids would want to play and watch people play, too, if you suck at playing the game. Like, it brings their attention at it. Don't get me wrong, I suck at playing, I go in there, I'm more of that stealth mode that goes to the far corner of the map.
And just hides until the
very end. And then start killing people, instead of going to, like, tilted,
Well, there's no more tilted towers.
I know, they got rid of it. And that's
something else, it's all futuristic.
Plays, but... I don't see Fortnite dying anytime soon.
No,
either,
definitely
especially
not.
with the
they've gone.
It's not
the competitive scene.
What's it?
The genre, first-person shooter.
No, not genre. The age group. Yeah, the age group that they're targeting.
Was it Gen Y? Gen Z? Gen Z, I think it is. Generation
All
Z.
I know is a millennial.
Yeah, lame.
But that's basically it for the Apex version.
Yeah, basically adding a new character, some new stuff, redoing the battle pass after there's some complaints about it season 1. But I mean, that's the thing with Fortnite versus Apex. Apex is trying to avoid time crunch, which is something that the people over at Epic have complained about with Fortnite. Is Fortnite's always constantly pushing out like weekly updates. Like that's a lot of stuff they got to maintain.
And then
Apex does it per season, and Apex Season 2 is just now becoming a thing. On July 2nd.
Oh, so they don't really do like challenges every week?
Well, now that they are now.
They're starting to now?
Apex has their battle pass, which is like the same thing as Fortnite. But I believe Apex is doing, I don't know if if the challenges were already a thing, But if not, they're becoming a thing, and they're more of an emphasis on Season 2, where you can complete challenges and stuff and not just try to outright win, which is kind of weird because who doesn't want to just, like, go for the win? But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Apex is just trying to do things, and I think they just do their things too slow. But it's hard because it's either you push out content slow or you push it out weekly, and your employees are always in crunch, and they're in a horrible, hostile environment because they're constantly overworked. Do you do that, or do you make the fans happy? You know, it's like a tough balance you got to maintain. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. But Apex is a great game, and if you play it, great. If not, check it out. It's free to play. It's just another cool take on the Battle Royale scene.
I was trying to figure out, remember the director of GameFreak, because that's the next topic that we're going to talk about.
You can talk about it and I'll look it up.
Which brings us, I mean, anyway, and try to rush.
No, you're good. I'm pretty much done.
Me too.
You're up, dude.
Apex. So that brings us to our next topic. The GameFreak releases a statement regarding the Pokédex and how they're cutting some of the Pokemon out, and you can't transfer some of your favorite Pokemon over to the Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I know I stated this in the last one or a previous episode. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm thinking I did. Maybe, my apologies. But what basically is happening, Game Freak says that
it's a big
Pokemon Sword and Shield is way too much, and that they can't transfer over the 800 Pokemon that they have now, plus more Pokemon that they're introducing.
Is that me?
I don't know if you guys are listening to. I think it's your computer, dude. It's the computer.
Keep going.
Anyway, try to pay attention to me. Don't pay attention to the background noise if you guys can hear it, because we can. Anyway, Game Freak stated that they're not transferring over the Pokemon. They've established a Pokemon Home where you can transfer all your Pokemon from the past generations, but you won't be able to transfer certain Pokemon over to the Pokemon Sword and Shield game. So a lot of fans were kind of mad. A lot of fans have been bashing Pokemon, and Game Freak trying to get them back to introduce the old Pokemons. But Game Freak has come out and has released a statement on that news. I don't like you. And quote, "Thank you to all our fans for caring deeply about Pokemon. Recently, I shared the news that some Pokemon cannot be transferred to Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I can't take you seriously. Sit down. That's not part of the book. I've read all your comments and appreciate your love and passion for Pokemon. Just like all of you are passionate about Pokemon, so are we." Or no, my bad, Billy, my last. "Passion for Pokemon. Just like all of you, we are passionate about Pokemon, and each and every one of them is very important to us. After so many years of developing the Pokemon video games, this was a very difficult decision for me. I'd like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Shield, that does not mean it will not appear in the future games. The world of Pokemon continues to evolve. The Galar region offers new Pokemon to encounter, trainers to battle, and adventures to embark on. We are pouring our hearts out into these games, and we hope you will look forward to joining us on this new adventure." And this was brought to you by Satoshi
Well, is he the one who said that?
No, it was...
This is the head of Game Freak, Satoshi Tajiri.
It was somebody else.
Here, I got you, dude. Go ahead and give your thoughts. You're very passionate about this, so go ahead and give your thoughts.
I am a big avid Pokemon player. I know if of a certain Pokemon, like I have past generations that I would want to transfer over to the Pokemon Sword and Shield, so I kind of feel the heat that they're receiving. But this quote that they released, Game Freak's Junichi Masuda is the one that released this statement. To be honest, I think this is a bag of bull crap. And only solely because the past couple years, the games have been decreasing since Sun and Moon. Or since
Sun and Moon, I think, started the decline. Sun and Moon, I didn't...
No, I think Kalos started it. Pokemon...
X and Y?
X and Y. Because it became a shorter one, and then...
I think X and Y was okay.
It was good. It was a good story. But I think it started to decline after that. So Sun and Moon, and now this. And I think the direction that Game Freak is going for is more of a mobile game. And trying to get that satisfaction in the newer generations. So... Mobile.
Whoa.
I'm kind of like... it's a good way to confront the fans and say, hey, we care about you and stuff like that. But I think it's a bag of horse crap.
It's just PR. It's just their way to say, "Oh, we're sorry," but they know full well what they're doing. They have a incredibly well established fan base, and they know what they're doing. This is just their way to try to be like, "Oh, we're sorry. Oh, just trust us," you know. And whether people buy it or not, whatever.
So hopefully this Pokemon Sword and Shield is a good. I'm gonna play it regardless, but I really hope that this story is really good. It's really thought out, and they actually introduce a lot of the lore of the old Pokemon games back in and actually make it for the fans. I know a lot of fans are also mad because of the graphics, because Nintendo Switch is a great platform for games. Look at Zelda
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. How phenomenal that game was.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Was rated 10 out of 10 by IGN, which is like a first. And it did it win Game of the Year, I believe, too, didn't it? Can you look that up? We got our sources. So, for GameFreak to not really take the great aspect of what Nintendo Switch can offer is kind of like, are you really trying to just push out this game for the fans, or are you just pushing it out to make money?
Which
is presumably. Which leads us to the next one.
Wait, hold on. At the 2017 DICE Awards, Zelda Breath of the Wild did take home the crown of Best Video Game of the Year.
Okay. So
just
maybe. Yes. Right. So that leads us to Pokemon Master. What's Pokemon Master? Pokemon Master is a mobile. What?
Dude, I love your transition. That was good. That was good. I like it.
No,
keep going.
You laughed at me.
No, that was good. I thought of a joke that I heard of last week.
Pokemon Master. Pokemon Master is a mobile game. It's a single-player mobile game from the Japanese developer DENA, or maybe it's called DINA. I'm not sure. Focuses on befriending trainers to create a team of 3, all while using only one Pokemon instead of a team of 6, like the original games. Throughout this game, you'll be available to fight trainers such as Red and Blue, all the way up to Sun and Moon, including Brock, Misty, Cynthia, Flannery, Thornton, Karina, and even Red and Blue. They haven't given us a release date. They've only said a projected time frame, which would be the summer of 2019, which is the summer. So we can expect
I don't know why we don't have any more details.
August.
The summer's honestly like in full swing. Like if it's summer 2019, what's the cutoff? Like September?
Yeah, I think it's September.
That's in like 2 months. Like,
so
how do we not have any details? You know, I don't know.
So I'm not sure.
I think it's dumb. I think it's more of the stinking quick satisfaction stuff that people or the newer generation is. I don't want to like call anybody out, but it just seems like people nowadays want quick satisfaction out of games. They don't want to grind. They don't want a story that's going to take 50 plus hours. They want something that's quick, that's going to let them be happy immediately. And I think this is just a way to do that, which is fine, but why not? I don't. It's hard. Do you cater to the newer fans that are coming in, or do you cater to the older fans that have been with you for 20 plus years?
If you're gonna make money, you're gonna cater for the new ones, because the older ones are gonna die out.
Right, and the newer ones are what's gonna keep you going.
Yeah.
It's just kind of disheartening. As I mean, I wouldn't say I'm one of the super duper old fans, but I've been playing Pokemon since I was like a little kid, and this Pokemon Masters is just not something I'm interested in. I'm just not. If they could take something like, an older Pokemon game like Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, make that into a mobile game, that would be fantastic. That would be something I would consider getting. But this 3-on-3 strategy based move, only one Pokemon game, it's not cutting it for me. Not interested.
I'm still gonna try it to see how it is, but I'm not having my hopes up on
Oh my gosh. Are we done with this?
Yeah, I'm done.
Talk about the Harry Potter game.
Which I was going to bring up in my new segment that I just made up today.
Is it time?
So,
is it time?
No, it's not, because we have a fan play. Do I do it now, or do I do it afterwards?
It's time for Edgar's Corner!
I actually like that. That's actually really good.
I'll do that every single time.
So this is a new segment that I just want to talk
It
about.
literally was decided
developed like
as soon as right before we started recording. This is brand new, so I'm letting him helm this entire segment.
So this is basically the things that I'm interested in. Maybe
What am I supposed to do during this? I don't even know.
I don't know, your cool little movements, your little dance. No, I'm just kidding. I'm making fun of you. Stop. But this is basically what the little things that I'm into currently, and maybe you'd be interested in seeing someone else's point of view. So to start off, Handmaid's Tale.
Whoa!
By far one of the good seasons. It's really getting spicy, juicy, and it's like it has me at the edge.
Is spicy the right adjective?
But when you eat spicy food, you're like,
okay, when you say the show is spicy, what does that mean?
there's so many turns left and right that you don't even know if one of the characters
And that
is gonna
means
like
spicy?
something happen. I don't know. It's really good. It's really good. You know, half of the time I'm sitting there, I'm saying, is she gonna die? Is she gonna get in trouble? Is she gonna get caught? What's gonna happen? I know one of my avid
So it's thrilling.
friends,
It's a thriller.
Vicky, loves to watch it. She just
Yeah, on Facebook, just posted
something on it.
Man,
it's
we've
really
shouted out Vicky like
good.
3 times
I know.
right now.
It's really good.
Yeah, Vicky.
Handmaid's Tale is
shout out.
episode 7 airing this week. So you have season 1 and 2 on Hulu, and you can catch up on season 3 now.
Hey, nice.
That brings me to Jessica Jones. It's the last season. Season 3 is on Netflix.
Did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm
I
waiting.
heard it was. I've heard so things.
So yeah. It doesn't have. Jessica Jones hasn't done bad in the past. It's not the
I liked
greatest
season
one
1.
on
Season
Netflix.
2 was a little worse than season 1.
Especially
and I've heard
with
mixed
her
things about
sister. Her sister.
Her mom?
No, her sister.
She doesn't have a sister. Her fake
Her
sister.
fake
the blonde.
sister. When she tries to be like, oh, Jessica's so powerful.
Yeah.
I need to catch up
Yeah.
to her. No.
Well,
sit back.
that's what season 3 explores. I guess the chick Trish is her name. She becomes like a anti-hero / villain kind of thing. I think.
I'm not sure.
I think
know
I
there's
saw
another
on the
villain.
internet that was kind of explored as like an anti-hero / a villain of Jessica Jones.
So Jessica
Which
Jones
makes total sense.
Mhm.
to me.
All 3 seasons is on Netflix. It is the last season to be on Netflix which
Sad.
ends the MCU
Boo.
universe
No.
as television on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's including Daredevil's gone,
Luke Cage,
Iron Fist,
Defenders,
and now Jessica
Jessica
Jones
Jones.
out. So it's a really good show. It's 3 seasons. I recommend it if you want to binge watch.
Season 1 is incredible.
Mhm.
It
It's
did
really
take me
good.
a few tries though.
Yeah, like you have to get into like the first episode, pass it, and
You have
then
to get
into
past
it.
the first like 2 or 3 episodes in. Trust me, it's really good. It's once you get into it, I'm kind of far away.
I know.
Sorry guys. Yeah, it's a little bit of a slow burn in the very beginning, but like, come on. Nowadays, what show isn't a slow burn in the beginning? If you have the time to sit through and watch this, it's a really good. It's worth it.
Usually, like the first 3 episodes are kind of like
if you're not, it's like you'd feel like you'd want to hook the people episode 1, but it just seems like a lot of shows nowadays don't.
You can't really though.
It's just hard because how early and how much do you set up?
Exactly.
You know, this show takes a few episodes to set up, but it's
There's
great.
a couple of shows that have got me hooked on the first episode. And I've had to watch the couple more to see it. The 100. I know we've mentioned it in this show. Crazy season this season explores.
I haven't watched this episode yet.
Neither have I.
No.
But I'm really excited because it
looked like a good one.
Yeah, it looked a really good
Every
one.
episode of the season
This
looks like a
season
good
is really
one, and I didn't
good.
even know where the season was gonna go at the beginning of it.
Because it's a whole new.
It's a whole new
point of
take.
view, like
It's a whole new take on the entire
Basically,
show.
it's a small reboot to the show.
I mean, it's a gazillion. There's a gazillion callbacks to the entire series, and it's incredible.
So, like I said, it's a crazy season. Explores the lore from previous
It's
seasons.
spicy.
Or like Jay used to say, muy caliente.
Exactly.
So it's a good season. Seasons up to 5 are on Netflix, so you
Yes.
can catch up on that too. If you don't have a cable, you can't catch up.
You can watch on the
unless
CW.
You can see on the CW app, but it does get rid of some of the past episodes. So I think only 3 past episodes are on there, like the
really?
first one.
Definitely worth it though. It's a good show.
Definitely worth watching. Next brings me up to The Society, which is on Netflix. The Society is a good show. It's the first season on there. It's basically a take of Lord of the Flies. If you guys don't know what it is, it's usually a book that majority of us had to read in.
I didn't.
School. I said majority. In school, it's Lord of the Flies meets the 100. The Lord of the Flies.
Edgar has an idea.
Lord of Flies is about kids, basically not having grown-ups and figuring out how to take role in a society without supervision and how to live without them. And the 100 basically does the same kind of concept, but it's a sci-fi based show. It's really good. First season's on there. Recommend you to watch it. Next show I recommend is You. It's on Netflix as well. It's about a stalker stalking a girl and trying to fall in love. That doesn't make sense.
Fall in love.
It's to fall in love.
It's spicy.
Stop. To fall in love with this girl by stalking her. It's a good show. First season.
My wife likes it.
Season 2 is coming. They've already been naming out some of the characters that they're gonna bring into it.
The way my wife explained it, I was really confused on what direction they were gonna go in season 2. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think it's gonna bring the main character introducing somebody else.
Okay.
And stalk them too.
Maybe someone from their past or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, Arrow. Just wanted to make a quick reference on Arrow.
Has Arrow gotten better?
No, it's on its last season.
Arrow sucks.
The upcoming season will be its final season, airing, I believe, in October is projected to be. Very last season, first show to bring the DC live action universe into back.
It did not do good.
The first 3 seasons.
Wasn't the first 2 seasons good? Season 3 and 4 sucked.
No, 3 was iffy. 4 and
was garbage.
Yeah, and I know main actor.
Oh gosh, what's his name?
It's Hamill.
He had a brief stint on WWE also.
Oh, what?
He also appeared on WWE once. It was really funny.
Stephen Amell.
Yeah, Stephen Amell.
Or Stephen or Stephen? I think it's Stephen.
Stephen, maybe. I don't know.
Stephen. I don't know. That name's kind of weird when you spell it Stef.
It's Stephen.
Phf. Yeah. He put out a little video on Instagram saying that how much he's loved to work on Arrow, but this is the last season. Hopefully, the predecessors of Flash and Supergirl don't follow in the footsteps. I know Supergirl, the past season 4 or 3 or 4, it was kind of iffy. Flash has gone up and down, but the past season, I believe a lot of fans liked it. So we'll see where that direction is. But other than that, gaming-wise, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I played
Origins. You going back to Origins?
Yeah, Origins. Wow. I haven't played the Origins originally.
At all?
No. So I'm going back to that. I skipped that one. And
how much have you played so far? I thought Origins was great.
Origins, I'm in the first part where we transferred over to Kaya, or not Kaya, the girl. What's the name of the girl?
The chick assassin?
Yeah.
No, in Origins?
Yeah.
He plays his love interest?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
We should jump into that. So I'm barely into the game.
Origins. I thought Origins was great.
I think Odyssey was better.
Okay, Odyssey is also fantastic. I haven't beaten it yet, but everything Odyssey is doing is fantastic. Origins, I really like Egyptian mythology.
I like it.
So I just kind of gravitated toward that.
Maybe it's because I'm not a big fan of the desert type style. That it's crossing desert. I'm really bored.
That's true. Odyssey is breathtaking.
Yes.
If you traverse any of the continents or land masses, it's beautiful.
Even in the sea, I thought, oh my god, really another game with a boat? I was gonna be bored.
No, they do it right.
Oh,
they do
a
right.
really good job with the boat because I'll be out at the sea. I'm like, die, MF, die.
MF. What does that mean?
I can't say that on the air. I got yelled at.
Family friendly.
But it's a good game. Play that on the mobile, whichever preference you like to say, game. I like to play Harry Potter Wizards Unite. It's a take. The same Niantic, the creators of Pokemon Go, has created the game Wizards Unite. And it's basically you going out there, fragments of this magic out there is split, and you basically catch them and try to put the story back together and figure out what's happened in the magical world where the Muggles are going to encounter magic artifacts. It's a really good game. I recommend it to anybody. Be out there. I have my gaming profile number thing to add me as a friend. If you guys want it, hit me up because you bet you that I'm going to be hitting you up.
Should we post it on our page?
I will if people are interested.
All right. Sounds good.
Besides that ends Edgar's Corner.
Good job. That was so good. I can't wait for next week's Edward. Oh, not Edward.
That means I have to like watch more TV.
That means you gotta watch more. Yeah, dude. You gotta start scouring your
the
streaming
fast
services.
streaming services. Gotta stop Netflix to go over to Hulu.
Yep, and then NBC Universal in 2021.
Exactly.
And Disney Plus.
And that brings us to fan questions.
All right.
You want to start off the fan questions? I think I started off last time.
Well, you read the last like 3 things, so yeah, sure, whatever. Any thoughts on PS5?
I really hope that it does a really good job. It's not just like
Oh my god.
better improvements of the past, like PS4. I know that they're claiming. Let's see if that is actually happening. They're claiming that there's going to be no loading times.
They showed it with Spider-Man.
No loading times.
Yeah,
so it's going to be really good to see that. I know there's a word that they might be cross-play generations. But I'm not sure if they've come out.
You mean backwards compatible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're
compatible.
claiming that you can play any PlayStation game. Same as Xbox. After Xbox announced Project Scarlet at E3, Sony basically said everything that they're doing is better than Project Scarlet. So we'll see.
So if anybody has not seen Ready Player One, it's a good movie. Recommend to anybody. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I did like it actually.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a virtual reality game, but you actually
You're fully
like,
immersed. Like
into
yeah, you got like a suit, like a little walking treadmill almost like thing.
It'd kind of be cool if PlayStation took their VR system and kind of updated it a bit. And
Like that?
Maybe not fully, but like we're nowhere near that technology yet.
Yeah, we're getting there.
But see a good like direction towards it.
Yeah, you're big into the VR.
I kind of.
You want to be in the VR?
Because like I mean,
VR is a whole different animal, man.
you play a game, you're in it, and you're like playing it, and you feel like you're in that world. But it's gonna be cool if you're in the game and you're like picking up a sword and you actually try to slash towards somebody, and you actually get.
I mean, there's like that Star Wars type like blade slasher thing.
But isn't that like a music game?
It's like, but it's like lightsaber kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cool VR stuff coming out right now. It's definitely the way of the future. I feel like. My thoughts basically, yeah. I mean, we don't know a whole lot, but I'm excited to see what they do.
And it's like anything, like new consoles
are
going to be exciting.
New consoles are, I mean, pretty much just the same thing. They both try to do their thing better, and one will be a little bit better than the other one, and that one will probably sell more.
Which
PlayStation 4, I think, was the most sold console in like forever. They sold over 1 million.
PlayStation 4?
PlayStation 4, yeah. It was incredibly successful.
It's kind of odd because Xbox also has come out with like 2 versions of Xbox One, doesn't it? Like the
so they have Xbox One X, and then they have the Xbox all digital thing, Xbox One SAD, which took out the disc drive, but then didn't upgrade any space, which was stupid. But yeah, Microsoft versus Sony is always the war, and
then Nintendo tries to come in and does a
no,
job.
Nintendo's doing their own thing, and I think Nintendo does it right. Nintendo like tries to compete, but doesn't really. They do their own thing. They're like more mobile, play on the go, play anywhere you are, stuff. And I think
after the Wii U
sucked.
They take their own direction and they don't even compete with them anymore. You're right.
Yeah, I think they took themselves out of any sort of console war and are sticking with their own formula, which I think works.
I just want to insert this because we had an argument between Brian and I. I see in the future a gun console being over $1,000.
No, absolutely not.
I can see that happening.
No.
Like an iPhone X.
iPhone X.
iPhone
okay,
X
this is totally different though. You can't compare a phone to a
console. The Samsung 10 is over $1,000, and people are willing to buy for a small handheld device. Do you really think that they're not going to pay $1,000 to play on an Xbox? Please let us know your comments.
No.
Maybe ask us on our future
questions.
questions.
A console will never be past $1,000.
I think
ever.
so.
No.
A gaming PC is over $1,000. A good
That's
one.
true, but that does more than just play games. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, it's what it's built for, but it's built to play games at like the maximum settings possible. Consoles can't do that. Because consoles try to make something more cost friendly. Consoles. What's the most expensive one? The Xbox One S that was $500.
I just wanted to make that insert. We don't have to argue.
I'm just saying. If you're gonna try to argue me, I'm gonna argue back. I'm thinking at most Xbox One or Xbox Project Scarlet will be at most $600. I think that's the absolute top. You can't make it more than that.
Maybe the future one will be at over $1,000.
Maybe if it's like maybe if that combines it being your Xbox, your phone, your TV, your car.
The new Xbox 3000 folds into your phone. Into your pocket.
You can just push a button, it folds into your phone, put it in your pocket. Then maybe $1,000. Sure, I'd buy that maybe.
Right. Well, that we got into an argument.
Next big
about
question.
it, but the
Favorite
next-
Funko Pop you
It was
currently
my
own?
turn.
You asked the last one.
No, you did.
Dang it. I'm sorry. Now, I did
Anyway.
this so that you could answer first, because I care about your feelings.
Nice try to save it. Funko Pop. I don't really think I have a favorite. Maybe
He
a
has,
genre.
just to clarify, how many do you have? Over 200?
I have an issue.
I'll say, while you look that up, I'll tell my favorite Funko Pop. I think my favorite Funko Pop is the R2-D2 and holographic Princess Leia that I have right behind me, actually. It's just a very iconic scene from Star Wars, and after the late Carrie Fisher, happened. It's just a really cool pop that I'm just really glad it's in my collection. It's probably right now my favorite Funko Pop I have.
I have over 234.
No, you don't have over 234. You have 234
right now.
Those are rookie numbers,
minus your
dude.
Plus one.
You gotta pump those numbers up.
I don't think I have a favorite. I have a favorite genre.
Your Stitch in the ship is awesome.
It is. It really is. If you haven't seen it, he's riding his little dune buggy.
Yeah, the cop.
Spy ship.
The cop
Is
one.
when he
the
flies
special
out,
one,
he's
yeah. Like, oh, he took the whatever 2000 whatever, and like,
he's
why
like,
don't
which
you-
color? The red one. I think my favorite genre is the spider ones. The
Spider-Man. You have a lot of cool
series,
Spider-Man.
'cause
Mysterio is awesome.
Mysterio one
Mysterio's
is
a
cool,
really
especially
good
with
one.
the globe and not
The fishbowl?
The fishbowl and not the fishbowl. I think that's my favorite genre of the Funko Pops. But then, like, I'm on the internet sometimes on Amazon. I'm like, oh, I forgot that they even make this movie.
I know.
Let me order
That's the
Fireball.
thing though with Funko Pops. It's like you're scrolling and you're scrolling through them and you're like, oh my god, they have this. It's
I didn't
just
even
like,
know that they
what?
did the 100.
Yeah, ooh, that's
And
annoying.
I was like,
But
looking
those
through it,
are
and I'm like,
pricey because
oh
they didn't
my
make
God.
those were a very limited run.
Minute runs.
Those are they're really cool.
But I really think Funko Pops are cool. We might be doing a giveaway in the next episode, so stay tuned.
Yeah, just
In the
keep
future.
monitoring the Facebook page.
Yeah.
We always update the Facebook page with cool stuff.
What new video game coming out would you recommend and why?
I have a giant list. I'm gonna just rattle these off.
Go for
So Xbox / PlayStation. I got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I got Final Fantasy. I don't remember which number because there's too many. I think it's 14.
Them all.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Cyberpunk 2077, Borderlands 3, Death Stranding for PS4. Also, Final Fantasy is PS4 only. Watch Dogs Legion, Doom Eternal, I think is Xbox only. I think
not
Doom is
sure that
Xbox
one.
exclusive. I might not. I could be wrong. Another PS4 exclusive. I wasn't gonna put this because I thought it was too far out, but Edgar graciously added it to the list. Last of Us 2, rumored to be February 2020, which I guess isn't that far away. Like 6 months? No, 8 months?
Yeah, 8 months.
If it is 8 months away, hopefully we have more soon. And then we have some Switch games that we're both excited for. Fire Emblem 3, Link's Awakening, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Luigi's Mansion 3. Did that already come out?
No, that's coming out in August, I believe.
Legacy of the Duelist?
That's the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, yeah.
That's coming out July.
Animal Crossing, which just got delayed into 2020. But Animal Crossings are great.
Favorite game out of that series, I think I have several, which I'm just gonna say.
Favorite game, I have several.
I'm excited for The Last of Us.
Narrow it down to 3.
Okay.
Narrow it down to 3, buddy.
I can't.
Dude, you
The
have
Last
to.
of Us, Luigi Mansion, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Spyro, Link's Awakening, Star Wars.
Okay, you pretty much said the list twice.
Cyberpunk.
Okay.
That's really what I'm
My
ready for.
top 3 out of this list. Cyberpunk, number 1. Last of Us 2, number 2, probably. And then either tied for the third, Pokemon Sword and Shield / Jedi. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And then probably Borderlands.
That's 4. You said three.
I'm just honorable mentions.
You just yelled at me for doing
That's
it.
true, I'm sorry. Next question. That was a good one, though. I really like that one.
I'm
I
gonna
honestly
say it
think
because you cut me off.
It's
last
an
time.
incredible time to be into video games. There's a lot of stuff coming out in the next 8 months. There's a lot of stuff coming out. It's gonna be great.
November's always like the busiest time.
November's really busy. I mean, you
time.
gotta cash on that holiday hype.
Mhm.
And then also spring of 2020 is a busy time.
Around March.
Yep, March, April, busy time for video games. I think Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs, Final Fantasy is all happening
And I
around that
believe
2020
that's
time.
around the time frame
The summer.
The Last of Us is supposed to be released too. a month prior,
If the
but
rumored February
February,
2020
so it's
happens, that's a little bit before, but still
around
kind
the
of
time
close. I mean, you better save up that money because there's a lot of stuff coming out
Expected
soon.
dropping like $500.
Yeah, I guess you can read the next one.
What Marvel character not yet in a movie would you like to see?
So mine kind of has a movie, but kind of doesn't. I am gonna always ride the freaking Galactus hype train. Galactus had technically a movie in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver
canon,
Surfer.
But that's canon now.
No, but you only see smoke. You don't see Galactus.
Galactus is supposed to be this huge.
He's a planet-eating thing.
Like it's supposed
and he's a
to be
like he
huge.
looks like a person. He's a cool helmet with two cool little spikes coming out the side.
His helmet looks dumb.
No, I think Galactus
He's
is
a
awesome and
purple
needs to
character.
be in the MCU. I think so. Technically, that's mine. If you wanted me to pick something different, I'd pick Nova or Adam Warlock. Is that better?
Why did you take mine? I want to see Nova. I want to see his origin story. He's a really cool dude. I think he's Spanish.
What?
He's a Hispanic character.
I don't know.
I think his name is Miguel.
He comes from Nova Corps, and that planet just got blown up by Thanos.
Not really from Nova Corps. He's an originally.
No, he said. I think
originally
his origin
he's an Earth.
his dad was Nova Corps. I'm pretty sure something. He came from Nova Corps. I looked this up before the episode, dude.
Did you though?
Yeah, I did actually.
Let's Google
and
this.
He uses his father's suit, and I think that's how he becomes Nova.
No, I don't think it's his father's suit.
I think it is, dude.
I don't think so.
While I look that up, do you want me to just ask the next question?
Go for it.
Okay, sure. If you had to live as any video game NPC for a year, who would you choose?
Yeah, answer it.
Professor Oak. Easy.
Why?
If I could have a year to study Pokemon, that'd be awesome. You could run out into freaking all the regions, because Professor Oak probably could go to any of them if you really wanted to. But Kanto obviously is the best. Whatever.
You were wrong. I was right.
What was I?
When the last surviving member of the planet Xandar, elite
That's
Nova
Nova
Corps,
Corps, dude!
Listen.
Okay, go.
Xandar's elite Nova Corp, Roman? Day? No, not Ronan. It's ROHOMANN. So
okay.
Roman?
Sure.
Roman?
Whatever.
Day is dying. He selects New York high school student Richard Ryder to replace him.
Oh, okay.
Ryder is given the uniform and the powers of Nova Centurion, but little instruction of how to use them.
Oh.
So it's not his dad.
Okay.
He gets selected. So he's from Earth, but
Right.
gets selected by him.
From
so maybe,
Nova Corps. So I mean, I was half
movie
wrong.
that supposedly rumored is Thanos blows it up the planet, and
Boom.
this guy
Then he gives-
shoots
yeah.
all across the universe, landing on Earth, shoots
Boom.
him.
Easy.
If they go through with this origin story, but MCU does his own little thing. So
I mean, they like to make nods to this other stuff, but yeah, that's a good way. It's definitely an easy way to explain it.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to the last question.
I mean, Marvel, the Captain Marvel,
yeah,
is the same way too.
exactly. But yeah, Professor Oak would be an NPC I'd live in for a year because yeah, I think the world of Pokemon is incredible, and I've always said as a kid growing up that if I could live in any video game, it'd be Pokemon for sure. So yeah, why not have a year to just go out and study Pokemon and just be in their world and learn everything there is to learn about them. Maybe you could try and smuggle one back. I don't know.
Okay, so when you mean NPC, non-playable character, do you mean like in a series where you do play like a tad bit, but he's not really a playable character?
No, if he's a playable character, he's not an NPC.
I was gonna choose Miles Morales off of Spider-Man PlayStation.
I mean, is he
4?
Is he a playable character?
You played the Spider-Man game.
Miles Morales isn't in that game.
Yes, Miles is.
When?
It's not Morales. Miles.
Oh yeah.
You play a little bit of him, like you walk him around.
I was like the
but you
stealth
don't-
missions that are
Yeah,
stupid.
but you don't really do anything with him.
That's fine. You can pick that, I guess.
I'll
That's
pick
fine.
him because he got
Oh,
bit by
well.
a spider in the game, and then he's becoming the next Spider-Man. So a year to be with Spider-Man Peter Parker and play around.
Going back to Edgar's Corner, you should have said Into the Spider-Verse is on Netflix now.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie if you haven't seen it.
I'm gonna actually watch it this weekend.
So that would be my character because swinging through New York would be really good. Do you think MCU will ever be the same after Endgame, better or worse?
I mean, the MCU is always the MCU, and that's not gonna change. Do I think it's gonna get better after Endgame? I don't know. It's hard to say because Endgame was such an incredible thing to watch. 10 years of culmination coming together all at once was incredible. Do I think they can replicate it? Absolutely. Will it be the same? Probably not because I don't know. It just feels I felt so attached to these OG characters. You know, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye. I think I'm forgetting one. of the OG Avengers. Captain America. I always forget Captain America even.
Hulk, Captain America, Thor,
Iron Man.
Iron
Hulk,
Man,
Black Widow, Hawkeye.
Widow,
That's it. That's the OG Avengers.
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
It's just been, I don't know, the original Avengers has just been such an incredible thing to watch. I think they casted them absolutely perfect. I think they can do it again, but I'm a little hesitant. But I have full faith in Marvel. Their casting choices are top notch. They've cast the perfect Spider-Man in Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange.
A fun fact. Now that you said Tom Holland, IGN put out a survey. 50% of IGN fans
Wasn't it over 50%?
Over 50. Yeah, I
think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man?
Has named Tom Holland.
Oh, by far. Yeah. He perfectly
his
portrays
his
the nerdy student
like
and the cocky Spider-Man.
Yes.
He perfectly does it. Whereas I felt Tobey Maguire was the nerdy part, but not the good cocky Spider-Man. And Andrew Garfield was the opposite. He was a really cocky Spider-Man, but not a good Peter Parker. Tom Holland is a perfect both.
Yeah, when he goes into the bank robbing, he's like, "Hey guys, it's nice seeing you. Hey Hulk, how you been?
Hey, you're not the real Avengers." It's good.
From my point of view, I think it's gonna get better. MCU does a marvelous job.
Marvel-esque job. That was nice.
Nice pun, huh? It does a marvelous job at picking up the characters they like to introduce and how they're introducing them. They don't just introduce it with a wink and winging it. They actually put a good thought in what they're doing. So I really think the next arc of movies that they're going to introduce is going to be a well planned, and it's going to be phenomenal. Even though they've already Endgame does end some of our favorite characters, but we still have a bunch of them left that they can bring back into the universe and develop them even further, introduce them. One of my favorites, Doctor Strange, barely has a movie in, does his little ring thing, so he can develop into more.
In a movie and a half.
Yeah, ish, but like solo movie, only one.
He's getting a second one.
Spider-Man, definitely loved it. So hopefully his Sony. My bad,
there you go.
Not Sony. Sony is not a butthead and does not deny Marvel's contract and actually renews the contract with Marvel and actually continues making the movies. So I honestly think it's not going to be the same.
No, it won't be the same.
It's not going to be the same. I think they're going to do better. They've already established themselves. They can only do better because God knows the fans make these movies.
Well, I guess
if the fans aren't pleased, no one's really going to want to watch them.
I guess the thing to think about, though, is that now what the fans want is what Marvel's going to do next. The fans are itching for Fantastic Four and X-Men. That's what they're going to do next.
Because they paid for it.
So the hype is going to be crazy.
Well, look at Guardians of the Galaxy, how they fired James Gunn, and the fans were
pissed.
Outraged. They were pissed. They would keep posting in it. And Disney
guess what
went
they
back
did?
And hired him again.
Hired him.
Because
he's the first director to get a trilogy, by the way.
Disney is focusing on the fans. They do care what we want and think of the movies, so I think Disney is doing it the right way. Just me personally.
I agree. They know what they're doing, for sure.
Next one is something I didn't know. This is kind of cool.
I didn't know before actually either.
So, thoughts on Green Lantern Corps movie coming out in 2020. The idea of Green Lantern Corps is...
Whoa. I found this quote, so I'm saying
Oh, my bad.
So, I just a little digging, and I found a cool little quote that I'm going to read for everyone right now. I'm going to read off this because I think it's easier.
No.
Okay, whatever.
Here. That's fine.
Just because it's easier.
While he does that, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I have my thoughts on this movie. Say it when he's done reading it.
Alright. The idea for Green Lantern Corps is reportedly a buddy cop style movie starring Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. As the protectors of Earth, they're part of an intergalactic group that calls the planet of Oa their base of operation. Through the use of their power rings, they can create anything their minds imagine. But they are not the only lanterns in the galaxy. Red, black, white, orange, and other lanterns exist, including the Sinestro Corps, who are powered by yellow power rings. These were introduced in the comics by Johns, so we could see this aspect explored, and this came from Screen Rant. Thank you, those guys.
Oh, I get to give my views first, right?
Yeah. That's just what I found.
I wasn't a big
the Ryan
buddy
Reynolds Green
cop
Lantern
movie style movie thing.
I think it could work. I think it
the
could
one
work.
with what's his face?
Ryan Reynolds was garbage.
Ryan Reynolds was garbage, even though he does a phenomenal job in Deadpool.
Yeah, and they made a callback.
He's bad.
Deadpool shoots Ryan Reynolds as he gets the Green Lantern script.
He shoots the one that he
in
does
2011.
In
Yep.
Buddy Cop. Isn't that Buddy Cop the one with
Buddy Cop is just like two cops going along fighting crime.
No, but isn't one of the biggest movies that Buddy Cop has done is
the other guys
with Mark
Wahlberg and God.
So many names.
Oh God, no! What's his name?
He's on Step Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
There he is.
I didn't like that movie. I didn't think.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was funny. It gave me a good laugh.
I didn't like it. Maybe if they do the other one with the guy from New Girl. You know who I'm talking about?
From New Girl.
Yes, it's
I
a
didn't
new
watch
show. They're cops.
New Girl's with Zoe Deschanel, isn't it?
Huh?
New Girl is Zoe Deschanel.
No.
Yes. Yeah, New Girl is.
The guy who plays Nick in that show, they take a fake cop, they get fake car, and they ride around pretending to be cops. It's like, and Nina Dobrev is in that movie.
I don't know.
That's the only character I remember. That was a good movie. They have to choose wisely with this because DC has done a horrible job with movies in the past. Like, they just need a reboot, take a page from the MCU book and start fresh, completely level out, make a 10-year contract with somebody, and make them the face of the DC.
They did their 10-year culmination in like a year and a half. I mean, come on.
Justice League, no, you should have built them up.
Yeah.
But hopefully this is the beginning of something great.
Hopefully.
I like Green Lantern. He's a good character in the DC universe, and the way that he deduced. Sinestro is a villain, so I don't think Sinestro Corps is an actual thing. Maybe they're just making this part into it. There is multiple Lantern universes. There's blue, orange, yellow, red, green, white,
Dude, I just read it from right there.
Black. Did you name every single one of them? Because I only think you named a couple.
Red, black, white, orange.
Red, black, white, orange.
Oh, and other lanterns exist, including the Sinestro Corps.
So there's a bunch of the Sinestros are yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, and then the orange ones is greed. Like, each one is an emotion. So I'm a big fan of Green Lantern. Hopefully they do a really good job with it.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't ever wish something to fail. No, I hope they do a good job. But I don't have high hopes.
Yeah, neither do I. Did you want to give a little speech or no?
No. For what?
For the Green Lanterns.
No.
Can I do the next one, please?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Would you want me to ask it to you?
No. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then
Are you
everything
reading this from your phone?
changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Wow, you could.
Only the Avatar, master of all four elements, could stop him. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. 100 years have passed, and my brother and I have discovered the new Avatar, an airbender named Aang, and I believe Aang can save the world. This question, which is kind of funny because I didn't know he liked it, came from Ted Burmeister.
Wow, it is name drop.
Ted.
Did you give us permission?
He's gonna like it.
He doesn't care yet.
Yeah. I already knew this one before he quoted it. I never referenced it, but if you guys don't know what I just read, is from the last Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a 4-season show airing about 22 episodes, 24 on some of them. Really good show. Mm-hmm. Really well oriented. Producers have built the characters from season 1 all the way to the end. The way that they shoot the scenes is phenomenal. Like, you think that you see a show and you're done with it. No, there's always somebody who notices something else that nobody does, and it mind blows you. Like, it's a phenomenal show. It's one of my favorites out there. If you guys don't know what it is, each element, there's certain groups of people. There's a water tribe, Earth Nation, the Fire Nation, and then the air nomads. Each one can control an element. So the air, earth, water, and fire. Only the Avatar can master of all 4 elements, can be the supreme dude, basically. Does it like a phenomenal job. It's a good show. It's a cartoon. If you guys are really interested, it's like an anime kind of based style movie show, but it does a great job. It's great. The graphics turn better in season 2 and 3 and 4.
I thought they were fine.
I didn't like the graphics of season 1 is not that great. Like,
I thought they were
fighting styles is better in the future seasons.
Well, yeah, but
I recommend it to anybody. But Netflix has come up with a
Live action series.
Live action series. This is not compared to the live action movie that was out there that was complete garbage and dissatisfied all the fans out there. Yes, I said garbage because it was garbage.
Bad. It was
like
bad.
You can dump that into the disposal, run it, and just get rid of it.
It deserves the garbage tag. Yeah.
But the good thing that Netflix is doing is taking the creators Michael Dante DiMardo and Brian Konietzko.
That's fine.
Dante and Brian, taking them and bringing them into the road of this production because it's a live action. Or the first season, it's gonna be aired on Netflix, but they are working with the creators to make sure that this show is good. It's not garbage. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring, what characters they're gonna do, who they're gonna cast for these roles. So if you guys haven't noticed, I'm a big fan of Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
So I have really high hopes, and I really hope that they're not gonna disappoint. Because Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie, was horrible.
Yeah, and they've said that there will be no affiliations.
No.
So make that clear. I think the stuff's been pretty on wraps, pretty tight, right? Mm-hmm. So as of right now, I think they're gonna.
There's only like one picture.
They have to start casting soon. I think they might already be casting, and I would assume as soon as casting is done, we'll probably start getting some details. And then after we get casting, it's just things kind of just fall in place, and you get more and more details. So I guess we just wait for casting at this point. I said casting a lot.
Characters. Katara's my favorite.
Is that the water tribe lady?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I liked the
and Zuko.
The blind earthbender.
Toph.
Yeah, I thought she was cool. She was my favorite.
Originally, she was supposed to be a male.
Really? Mm-hmm. I think she was an awesome character. She was always my favorite from the show.
She was like points, like looking at them different direction, and points this way. Twinkle toes.
Yeah, I love that show. It was fun.
It's a really good show.
Not as big a fanatic as him, and probably not as big as a fanatic as Ted, but I do love the show.
They did have a second showing of the same universe called Legend of Korra. It's a new version of Avatar in a new setting. Did a really good job. The graphics there, the battle styles was by far really good. Great storyline. Some people may not like it because it's not the OG, but it's really good. 2 great shows to watch. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Hulu. You literally have to buy the seasons or, streamline it somehow online, which I don't recommend. I have them. It's really good.
Perfect.
Well, which ends us with the next one.
I'll ask you the next question.
Yeah. You can have finished with the questions.
I can finish with the questions? Yeah. Any news regarding Assassin's Creed Kingdoms? So Assassin's Creed Kingdoms is just right now a rumor. Mm-hmm. That's all we got. The only thing we have is the little Easter egg or / nod, however you want to look at it, to an upcoming Assassin's Creed game. Via The Division 2, there's like a scene in a building with a poster of a Viking-looking figure holding what appears to be the Apple of Eden, which is a common thing throughout the entire Assassin's Creed game. So it's
I believe he's holding a staff too.
He's holding like a spear or something.
Similar to something.
It has like the Viking-looking helmet on, no horns or anything on it, but it appears Nordic at least. So a lot of people have thought maybe, hey, this is Ubisoft giving a nod and maybe looking into the future, but they haven't said anything about if this is a legit thing. So unfortunately, we can't really give much more information on this because we don't know. But if it is a thing, it'll be really cool, I think. Because, they did a phenomenal job with Origins. And their new formula is great.
Yes.
Their new formula has done a really good job. Mm-hmm. And they skipped 2019 for any sort of game. But I look forward to whatever they do in the future.
And hopefully develop this game as good as they've been developing Odyssey. And it's going to be phenomenal.
If it's not, it has to be at least the same, if not better.
I really like
everything about Odyssey has been great so far.
I really like the way you battle in it, the way that you have options. Mm-hmm. Playing Origins, maybe I should have played Origins first before Odyssey.
That's really not a big deal, but
the game mechanics is completely different. I'm used to maybe you guys haven't played it. You right click the trigger button and then you can.
I feel like it's almost the same, isn't it? No,
it's still the way kind of but you play you set the attack modes on the.
Oh, and you have that overpower attack in Origins. It's a little different. Okay, yeah, I guess that's little mechanics. I think in Odyssey it's great.
Yes. And
then you have the ability wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Odyssey
really
is great. Good.
Who would you play as? You play as Cassandra or the other guy? I forget his name. Cassandra.
I didn't play Cassandra.
I'm playing Cassandra now. I forget his name.
Delios? No.
Oh, Alexios.
Alexios.
Yep.
Alexios.
I'm Cassandra. because Cassandra is bae.
And fun fact, ending. Spoiler alert.
No, I haven't beat it yet.
Oh.
Don't say it. I haven't beat it yet. I'm still playing right now.
Cover your ears.
No, don't even say it. No. So that brings the next question. Next question.
Have you seen Toy Story 4? And that also brings to the other question.
Yeah, so basically, have you seen it? And then thoughts on the last two questions. I have not seen Toy Story 4, unfortunately. I desperately want to. Everything I've heard so far is it is fantastic. My wife and I are actually considering taking our daughter to her first ever movie in the form of Toy Story 4 because she loves Toy Story. So I think we're kind of waiting for like a middle of the week matinee where there's like no one in the theater to go see it. But yeah, everything I've heard is fantastic. I know Edgar's seen it, so I'm sure he can give a little more in-depth analysis on it. Please do not spoil it for me, but
it made me laugh. It made me tear up.
You cried?
Almost.
No, I've heard a lot of people
it's
cry.
A good emotional.
I've heard a lot of people have cried actually about this.
Jerker, emotional jerker. It's a good movie. It really does justice to the past 3 films. Is it your favorite? That's a tough one, huh? What is your favorite one right now? Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2? Mm. Mine's 1 for sure. Toy Story 2 was a good one. 1 for sure is my favorite. This was a good one. It's not my favorite. For real? I like it better than the original, the first one. But it's really good. The way they built the characters in this one, they introduced the new characters, especially Forky. Man, Bo Peep coming back, and he's like, it's in the trailer. One of my favorite parts of Forky is like trash. It's hilarious. It's a really good movie. It brings back Bo Peep because we didn't really know what happened in season 3. Bad Pajama. So it's a really good movie. I recommend it to watch anybody. Question. Yes. Do they bring her back organically? Does it make sense? Yes. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Yes. I like Bo Peep in the beginning, but okay, cool. That's awesome. It's a great spin on Bo Peep and how she matures in the movies. It's awesome. By far one of the greatest movies out there right now. Did they set it up for another one, or do you think this ends it? So I've heard rumors that there's works of Toy Story 5 possibly happening. But what do you think? What do you, as Edgar, as a consumer, I can't say without ruining the movie. Okay. Well, because at the end of 3, you think, okay, that's a wrap, that's a conclusion, and then they make another. Then they make 4. Do you feel that way with Toy Story 5? Do you think? I mean, obviously they could always make it. One, no, I think this is a lot. You think this wraps it up? I think it wraps it up perfectly. Okay. But I mean, way they finish it, you can perceive it that they're building another one. Okay, gotcha. So it's kind of up to your own interpretation, basically. Because I could see where it ends. This is like the ending of Toy Story, but I can also see. But you could see a way to create something, another installment. Okay, nice. Or maybe make multiple ones. Okay. If you know what I mean, towards the end when a character has to choose something. Whoa! Spoilers. Now I know. You'll understand. Now I know a character has to choose something. Well, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's all of our questions. That's all we want. The last thing I gotta say is, Edgar, you've got a friend in me, buddy. And until next time, this has been a report from your fellow nerds.